Our Hebrew brothers and sisters, 12 tribes of Israel scattered all over the earth. Welcome back. This is your Moray, Dr. Yeshua. And the last session, we were in verse 9. And we're talking about the fact that YAHUAH spoke and it was done. We talk about the fact that he spoke the word. My brothers and sisters, when we think about the world that we're living in, we talk about the universe, we talk about the, you look up in the sky, you can't see anything in the daytime, but in the nighttime, what is just beautiful, just lighted up. The moon, the stars, and the different planets shining, giving their lights. And you can see some of them moving, with the natural eyes. And if you're going to use a microscope, you can see more than the natural eyes can. You will give man that knowledge to do that. But my brothers and sisters, nobody, like I said, can speak something into being only but YAHUAH. So he says, spoke and it was done. It was done. When we talk about he spoke, here, we talk about, he vouched, he bid, he boasts himself, he's called, he's certified, he challenged. He said, and this word to say is used with great latitude. The answer to vouch, to bid, to boast, to call, to certify, to challenge, to charge, to command. He commanded. He said, "Let there be light." It was done. When he talk about let there be a firmament to separate the water from the land and all, the water separated. The water's over there, the land is over here. He talks about the star, he talks about the sun, the moon, and all. He did all of that by just speaking it, declaring it. He demanded that it done, and it did. He determined the time, my brothers and sisters, when all of these things going to come together and work together for the good of his people and the good of his creation, the creatures, the people, everybody, those who he called to be his own personal people and those who are created by him. He just have it done, my brothers and sisters, plainly, promised, published, reported. He required it. He speak it into being. And it happened, my brothers and sisters. Praise be to his name. Can he can think something and it just happened. Can you do that? No, you can't do that. He said he commanded, Safa. Safa. It is. He commanded it. He commanded it, my brothers and my sisters. Sadie, Vav, and Hey. Safa. And it's like it to lay charge, to give, charge, to command, to order. You say, he spoke and it was done. He commanded. And he said it stood fast. So command here is Safa, to lay charge upon, to give charge. He commanded. The same commandment that he gave, there's the same way, just like how he commanded things to be, it's the way he commanded and give us his commandment that, we must obey. There's a lot of teaching about, the Ten Commandments, that Moses was living in Egypt where he had to deal with the commandments. Egypt had 42 statutes. And, all the commandments down there, and say Moses was able to use that in and say God gave it to him. But let me say this, my brothers and sisters. Yahuwah's commandment. There is no commandment in the this command is not in the 42 statutes that in the Egypt that Egypt had in the ancient time. I agree that there's some stuff that they have down there that similar to what we have in the commandments. But Yahuwah did not tell them that on the 7th day they should rest. He did not. They don't have that down there. He did not. Those Egyptian 42 statutes don't have that where Yahuwah rested and commanded us to rest and to honor him on that day. That is something that Yahuwah did at the end of his creation. How did that statute talk about? It talk about don't steal, don't commit adultery, and don't do this, don't do that. Then there's a whole lot of don'ts and something like that. But it don't show you how those blessings gonna come to you. Of course, if you don't do them, they're gonna kill you. They're gonna cut your head off. They're gonna do all kind of stuff to you. Yahuwah is charging us, and the commandment that he gives us, my brothers and my sisters, is to bring us into fellowship and relationship with him. It's not something for us to go there, run around and, serving ourselves. It's a commanded and it stood fast. He commanded and it stood fast. Sabbath charge, he gave charge, upon he gave charge to, he commanded, he ordered, he appointed, he bid, he gave charge, he give it is send with a commander, he send a messenger, he put such, he set it in order, my brothers, my sister. What he's talking about there is something like to constitute, to constitute, to enjoin, to appoint, he give charge, he give his commandment, my brothers, my sisters. And so it's a little different. It's a little different from what you see in other kind of writing. Yahuwah alone can do that. Yahuwah alone, my brothers, my sisters, can do that. And so, over in verse 10, this is what he said. Yahuwah bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. The plans that the counsel of the heathen here, the etzah, the counsel of the advice. Okay? You see, the counsel of Yahuwah stands firm. But the counsel of the heathen, the counsel of the Gentile people, he brought it and he brings it to naught. Nothing. Nothing. The word etzah, the counsel, the advice, ayin, sadi, and hey is the letters that make up that word, the Hebrew letters. And what it's saying here, the counsel of the heathen, okay? The advice, the advisement, all the counsel, you put them together, the purpose that they had. By implication, they talk about the plan, the prudence advice, the advisement, the counsel, my brothers and sisters, the purpose that they had. This plan that the heathen had is to destroy us. Is to destroy our relationship and our fellowship with Yahuwah. Having it their own way. There's a advertisement that they have with the is that Burger King? Have it your way. Have it your way. They're pouring all kind of stuff on that hamburger. So they think they're having it their way. The heathen people, their plans. And Yahuwah said, he bring it to naught, to nothing. 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 Okay, so the heathen here, he said, he bringeth the counsel of the heathen. So the word the heathen here, the Gentile, the Goi, the nation. That's what it is. The Goi, the nation. We also say, just if you using the English form of Goi, we just say Goy. Like, because in the English, Goi in English spelled G-O-Y, Goy, you know. I mean, we also said, when we refer to the heathen of the nation, we also say the goy, but then in the Hebrew it's Goi, you know, Goi. And, you know, they're the nation, they're people, you know, and, you know, is Gimel, Resh, and I mean, I'm sorry, Gimel, Vav, and Yod. And what he's saying here, my brothers and sisters, is that they're the people, they are the nation. You know, you see, they are different. They are different when Yahuwah is referring to the Hebrew people as a nation than he referring to them as the Gentile. They're different, two different Hebrew words. You know. And so sometimes you're going to see another Hebrew word that would, like a lobab or something like that, that, you know, they're dealing with the Hebrew people. It's so different from they set us off differently from the heathen, okay? You know, and my brothers and sisters, so what they're saying here is the Gentile, the heathen, the nation, the people, and, you know, apparently the same root word came from, you know, Geva, in a sense of massing or foreign nation, you know, hence a Gentile nation. Figuratively, sometimes you refer to the nation or the people as a troop of animals, or, you know, a flight of locusts, you know, but basically the Gentile, they're heathen people, the nation, they're people that is different. They are different people because they have different culture, different looks, different lifestyle, you know, you know, different practices, you know, than the Hebrew people. Okay, so it's a you know, Yahuwah brings the counsel of the heathen to naught. And I wanted to look at the word naught there, because the word naught means poor, like in English you spell like a P-U-R, but in the Hebrew it comes out as like a poor, you know, like a P-O-O-R, that kind of thing. That's how it comes out. Okay, and what it's saying that the word poor means to break or to bring to nothing, utterly, to take. You know, and the original word poor is a pe and vav and resh. And what is saying here, my brothers and sisters, is that Yahuwah break or he bring to nothing, and he utterly take them down, you know, bring them to naught, you know, to bring to nothing, utterly to take down our, in other words, Yahuwah crush, he crush the plan. He bring to nothing, he utterly take them down. So many times my brothers, my sisters, you know, we're so scared of what's going on around us, you know, and not realizing that if we depend on ourselves, we are going to be afraid. But we must do like what the psalmist said, whenever time I am afraid, I will trust in Yahuwah. Whenever time I'm afraid, I will trust in Yahuwah. And we go back to the psalmist in Psalm 23, say, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Yahuwah is with us. And he said, his rod and his staff comfort us. You know, praise his holy name. And you know, we find ourselves among the enemies, and Yahuwah is preparing, you know, for his children, those of us who love him, my brothers and sisters, those of us who love him, you know, he is preparing a place for us, my brothers and sisters, and a table, preparing a table. He always going to have our needs met. You know, praise his holy name. All we have to do is to trust him, is to trust him, and we have to do it fully, my brothers, my sisters. Praise his name. We have to trust him. We have to do it and put all our trust in him, because he promised, my brothers and sisters, that he will never leave us nor forsake us. So we have to keep trusting and giving him praises. And no matter what we go through, my brothers and sisters, just remember that Yahuwah is crushing all of the plans of the heathen. And you know, the heathen, they are directed by Hasatan. And when he puts stuff in their heart and their mind to do, the whole thing is to bring the world into subjection to their thinking and their mindset, so that, you know, the people who trust in Yahuwah, you know, that they'll be faltering and failing. But let me say this, that Yahuwah is faithful and will not suffer us, you know, to fall. Praise his holy name. He's going to prepare a way for us to escape. So just keep trusting him. My brothers and sisters, when you take your hands out of his hand and you try to go on your own, you are on your own and you have no security. But when you keep trusting him and allow him to be your guide, you are secure in him. Praise be to his holy name. So, listen what it. So it brings the counsel of the heathen to naught. All the plans, you know, all the plans, he brings it to nothing. He crushes it. And guess what? And then he maketh the devices. They have so much. The word devices here, my brothers, my sisters. It is a big word. And when I was looking at the Hebrew word for that, and the devices of the people, to none effect. The people, the same heathen people, the Gentile people, is this is what this is, makashaba. It's a big word. Makashaba. Makashaba. Sometimes a makashaba, you know, it has a pronunciation, makashaba, you know, but it's spelled makashaba. Or you can say makashabeth. Makashaba or makashabeth. And is really talking about here is devices. Here is talking about the thoughts. With the thoughts and the device, you know, whatever they put together, they plan together, right? And the word, the Hebrew word is makashaba or makashabeth. Makashaba or makashebeth. Yeah, that's what the word is. And so the consonants that make up the word, there is mem, ket, shin, bet, and hey. Of course, it has the vowels notations. But what the word is saying here is the thought of the heathen. The thought. They make it the devices. The thoughts are the device. The cunning work, curious work, the imagination. And when we talk about cunning, let me talk about the first thing about the curious work. What do the heathen do? My brothers and sisters, thing curious. When a person is something curious, is talk about things that out of this world that how did they come up with that kind of thing? They come up with like a witchcraft, those people who are palm readers, they do curious stuff, dealing with witchcraft and evil. I've heard of situation like, okay, in Jamaica, where I was born, and we're back and forth there doing mission work and stuff like that. But Jamaica have a thing they call obia. Obia. It's witchcraft. It's like a palm reader, and this person deals with all kind of stuff, and they deal with use pharmacy stuff. They go to the pharmacy and buying certain oil or certain thing, and sometimes they don't go to nowhere to buy anything. They just make up their own. They probably get some water, and add some syrup to it and make it look different, and then make up stuff that put different kind of colors and stuff and give to people, and get some bird feathers and all that kind of stuff and put with it, and and then give to people and tell them must wash their face, or they put a little bit of like a peppermint and stuff like that, make it smell or taste different, and then tell people to do all kind of stuff with it. And people believe all those kind of stuff. And my brothers and sisters, and sometimes it works for them. And people who work with this devil, and they have ways of, but like I said, a person who dies in Yahuwah and like their life was pure, living for Yahuwah, they're not able to take those people's spirit. But the people who die satanic, they live like the devil, and they die like, die just terrible death, some of them, right? Because of the way they live. They die the way they live. And so people can use stuff and can bring back, and the scriptures talk about it. You remember Saul, King Saul? He went to this witch woman and you have the Bible speak against wizard and witches and stuff. These are people that do curious work and those kind of stuff. And Yahuwah wants us to stay away from that, my brothers, my sisters. He wants us to stay away from that. My time is gone, and we're going to come back to this. Okay? But we're going to ask you to walk with the King. As you be a blessing to someone, right? You walk with the King. Praise his holy name. And let Yahuwah shine his light in your life, my brothers, my sisters. And shine his light in you. And so that you can do the things that bring glory and praise to his name. Do not allow anyone to turn you aside, my brothers and sisters, so that you will miss out on the joy of what Yahuwah has prepared for you. But remember, the heathen rage, and the kingdoms remove, and he uttered his voice, and the earth met. My brothers and sisters, Yahuwah, our refuge, is with us. So, walk with the King and be a blessing to someone today. Praise his holy name. Shalom.